on Monkey London. Monkey London? Sounds weird saying it. Well, hello! Welcome back to Carsick Headquarters. It has been a good long time since I've made a video, and I do apologize for that. Everybody that's recently subscribed to me, I apologize. Let me go over a few things that's been happening here lately. I had some family in town, and I didn't make a video that weekend, and then it just kind of snowballed into just not doing a whole lot with videos. And I finished the headlight, the LED headlights on the Z, and I had put that up for sale because I really want to start my next project. So I have somebody actually might pick that up Sunday, and hopefully that's gone so I can make room. Let me show you around the shop a little bit here. I got some more decorations up. Shinoda hydrolocked his engine on his BRZ, so that's in here. He towed it here. He's messing with it a little bit. Probably gonna bring it to the dealership to get an estimate on repair, and then maybe he's considering doing a swap in that thing. That would be cool. As for me, the next project that I'm talking about doing is a Lotus 7 clone, or a low cost, or a Haynes Roadster, or whatever you want to call it, depending on what chassis you pick. So I've been wanting to do one forever and ever. I know in a couple videos ago, Shinoda and I were talking about that, but here's a couple Hot Wheel versions that I have. This one right here is a Caterham, which is the newer version, which is the modern version. I'm going to make a car that looks just like this Caterham here, and I am excited. So that's what I'm up to. I've been doing a whole lot of that stuff lately, and haven't been making any videos on it. I do want to start documenting the build process on video. I did start a build thread on lowcostusa.com. I'll put a link in the description to that build thread, and that website there is very, very helpful. A lot of smart people on there building their own cars. A lot of good information, and I'd like to give a shout out to them. Thanks, guys. Thanks for helping me out. Shinoda drew a little kind of profile. This car is a 1-inch square tubing space frame chassis with no doors, no AC. It's just a basic car. They weigh anywhere between 12 and 1,400 pounds when you're done with them, so you don't need a whole lot of horsepower, which I really like. I also, 100 horsepower and a Miata engine really motivates that thing well. I don't want it to be motivated well, I want it to be scary fast, so I'm going to throw a turbo on there, and I'm already starting collecting parts. I got a T25. Pew pew pew! I've been doing a lot of work lately, actually. There's a compressor housing, sandblasted, all pretty. I just tore the napkin all up. Show you guys. See what I sacrificed to make these videos. Here is I did get a free roller Miata, free. Believe it or not, I got it for free, and it didn't have an engine or trans, but it still had wheels and suspension on it. So I brought that thing here. That probably could have been a few fun videos to make, but all that's left of it is subframe and one good rear quarter panel. The rest of it is cut up, thrown away, sold, or up there. So this is all, some of it I'm not going to use. It's going to be for sale, like this airflow, air meter thingy, and the suspension arms, headlights, AC condenser. I'm not using that stuff. Obviously the carpet I'm not using, but there's a lot of stuff up there that I am probably going to use off the Miata. So like hopefully the pedals, steering column, steering rack, front knuckles, brake calipers, things like that I'm going to be using. And I'm organizing, cleaning, and you need to start modifying. Like the steering rack needs to be cut down, shortened. I did buy a transmission off a guy for $100, and I've already cleaned it up, and I took it apart and cut off the PPF mount here. Since I'm going to be building a trans tunnel out of tubing around this, in order to fit wider seats, I want to have the thinnest trans tunnel I can, so I went ahead and trimmed off this, which I'm not going to be using, to mount the transmission. I'm going to be using these back here to mount the trans. So this is just, I mean, extra weight, yeah, but it's mostly just in the way of, you know, making a thinner trans tunnel. So that's gone. I also attempted to weld the diff that came with this car. It was a viscous LSD. It did not go too well. So I'll have to get another diff. You can see I tried welding through the windows, and I got it welded, but I didn't have the stub axles in when I was welding it, so there was some kind of a misalignment happened and I couldn't get the stub axles back in. Fail on my part, but that's where I am right now. New project. Oh, I'll show you the headlights on the Z real quick. What's that? They're pretty cool. There's little metal eyelids and my LEDs hard mounted, welded on. Came out pretty good, I think. But kind of over the Z. Never did get that P code taken care of. The next step I think would be to taking the timing cover off. I don't really want to do that. I'm way more interested in building my own car from scratch. So that's what's going to happen next. I mean, it's about lunchtime now. So I don't have a whole lot else to do without, like, I need to get the Z gone. The next step would be to build a table in order to start building the chassis, and it has to be flat. JT's got a chassis table he's going to let me borrow, and then I'm going to put some MDF on top of it, and then start measuring. I have to buy some tubes, start measuring and cutting up. This is basically what the chassis would be made of right here. I don't know the wall thickness on this one, I don't remember, but this is 1-inch square tubing, and I'd be using 16 gauge, which is this might be a little thinner than that. I don't remember. I can measure it, but majority will be out of this. There'll be a few pieces out of 3/4 inch. If you're a car guy and on YouTube, you've probably seen this car or a version of it on Monkey London's channel. He's got a low cost with a CA18 in it. Watching that kind of inspired me. Maybe that it's okay to go turbo. I actually looked at C18s for a little bit, but you know, Miata stuff's super easy. I've always wanted to do one of these with an F20C out of it, S2000, and it'd be a perfect engine for it. But there's a couple negatives, a couple cons for that engine. One, it's very expensive still. You know, a whole motor set is like $4 or $5 grand. I mean, you could probably get it cheaper if you look around. It's still going to be a few grand. Or you can buy a wrecked car and part it out. That's probably the best way to go. But two, it's a really tall engine, so it doesn't quite fit in the car very well. You either have to have a big bulge or a hood scoop or something, or raise the hood up, which I really don't want to do. I want it to be nice and low. It's also a really, really loud engine. You have to have a very large muffler in order to make it livable. So for cheapness and ease of acquiring parts, I'm just going to go Miata, because I mean, Miata engines are everywhere. So I mean, I found a Miata transmission for $100. Everything looks great on it. It's a great looking transmission on the inside. So I don't have a whole lot to do. It's a little boring right now, but so I figured I'd make a video saying what I'm up to, what's going on lately. I know you missed me. Oh, and I got a spare 1.8 head Miata my buddy Kevin gave to me. He used it at a mock-up for a wiring harness, so he didn't need it anymore, and he gave it to me. So that's, I mean, stuff like that doesn't happen with S2000 parts. So, you know, I'm gonna try to find a 1.8 engine, and I think that's where I'm gonna go. Turbo Miata, low cost. Let me show you my little folder I made, my resource folder. That's basically the chassis right there that you make out of square tubing. We call it the book chassis. But here's all my dimensions that I'm probably going to be starting with. And there's a few decisions you have to make as far as like suspension and stuff. I think what I'm going to do, just again, just because I'm super cheap right now, I'm actually trying to save for a house, so I don't have a lot of money to be putting towards this. I think what I'm going to do is just use the entire rear subframe and either mount it or weld it to the chassis. That would save a lot of time and money building control arms and buying Heim joints and stuff. So that's probably what I'm going to do. So that's where you sit right there. Oh, and I'm also going to use these cheap Bride knockoffs that I got. I'm going to try to anyway. They're a little wide for the chassis. That's another reason why I wanted to make a narrow trans tunnel, is to fit these seats. They're 18 inches wide at their widest here, hip to hip. Hip to hip. It's hip, baby. That's where we are. Stay tuned for more. And JT got a 3D printer, so he's way cooler now. Well, that thing's big. How big is this going to be? Not big. Sitting down. Oh, he's sitting down? Alright, I just swung by JT's to see if he has a 29mm socket. He doesn't, because who would? That's a weird ass size. This Miata front upright, this front knuckle on this Miata has got the stupid hub nut. Is 29mm. What is that? So I'm gonna go to lunch and try to find one, because I need to get the hub up. I gotta go. I'm gonna go get some food. Okay, bye. Come on, bud. There we go. That's pretty. Oh my goodness, that's pretty. Alright, made it back to the shop. I'm sitting around here for a little bit, just trying to go over in my head some of the things that I could be doing while I'm waiting to start building the chassis. And one of the things I thought of was starting to cut this thing up. This is an HKS center section for a 350Z. It was given to me by my friend Peter. I did not use that on my 350. I ended up using a stock 350Z exhaust on there. I think you saw that video. Thanks to Peter and his brother Rob. So I think what I'm going to do is going to start cutting this up. This is probably going to be the low cost exhaust. So you know, cut it here, the flange back here, and I think that'll be it for now. I mean, I might clean this up, but I don't know what else I would need. I don't know if just one of these resonators is going to be enough. It probably won't be. I might need to put two of them in line with each other, and then a little dump. I'm not really sure yet, but at least I can start getting it cut up and get ready for mock-up. So that's what I'm going to do now. Alrighty, that's it for today. Thanks for joining me. I'm sorry I didn't make any videos for a while, but you know how it is. Life gets in the way. Plus, sometimes you just don't feel like it. So, yeah, sue me. These things are all cut apart. I started messing with the master cylinder. I'm not sure if I'm going to use that yet or not. I kind of want to because I already have it. I don't know. I just got to make it work because it's free. And this thing is definitely called a low cost for a reason. I'm trying to keep it very, 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 very frugal. That's the kind of guy I am. So yeah, if you want to see more of this build, stay tuned. We should have some fun. Catch you on the flip. See you next time.